Okay, I'm just here to talk about a 2012 Z06 that we purchased. My wife and I purchased brand new, and this is for anybody that's interested as far as what I've done to the car. I do it in separate categories since there's so much done, and also for my own personal record, so if I forget later on in life, I remember what I did. Okay, so basically, this first section, I'm just going to basically talk about. We bought it brand new. The car's a 2012 Z06, and it has the Z07 package on it, which the Z07 package at that time consisted of heavy-duty cooling for the oil and water coolant, and the Sport Cup wheels, or the Cup wheels they should be called, and of course had the Sport Cup tires, and that's all from the factory. The carbon ceramic brakes, all those kinds of things, that's all factory. It's basically a ZR1 car with the Z06 427 7-liter engine in it. That's basically what it is. Again, that was an option for the Z07, and that's the way this car was brand new. And then, of course, basically everything since then has been changed. We have basically done mods from aero, which obviously anybody can see, to inside the car, to suspension, into motor, and I will break it down into separate categories as far as engine, transmission, or engine, aero, all those kinds of things. The color is Inferno Orange. Again, that's the way it came. And with the Cup tires, which the car still has. Now they came out with Sport Cup 2s, which is on the car now. They originally came out with Sport Cups, but they don't no longer make those. So now I just run the Sport Cup 2s. The car is still street legal as far as it's still tagged and insured, driven on the street, but it's mostly just a track car now. It really is not any kind of, can't daily drive it, and really is not a fun thing in traffic either. Basically, it's just meant for nice mountain roads and the track. There, it's pretty much in its element. And that's basically on the car stickered at about, I think it's stickered right around 100,000, 102,000 was the sticker price, brand new. And like I said, again, we purchased it. Purchased it brand new. So I've been the only owner of it. Right now, as of today, it's got a little over 20,000 miles on it. Really, like I said, all pretty much local and at the track. It hasn't been really on any kind of long trip or anything like that. But other than that, like I said, that's basically what the car is from the factory. And I guess I'll get into the aero on this first part too, because the aeros, obviously anybody can see, is drastically different. So come on over here, and basically we'll talk about the front and go front to rear. So basically the front is the splitter, which is all carbon fiber, and basically the flush grill mount here, the flush grill that we had put on, and also removing the fog lights and putting the mesh in and actually making those to where they go and cool the brakes off. So basically, this whole front end has been changed for being optimized for aero and cooling. The splitter actually is bolted to a hard point underneath the car. It actually goes up under the car. So this thing is really pretty solid. This is not gonna go anywhere. And obviously, before I had this mounted, before I had this put in, basically it was catching a lot of trash inside here that would make the car start running hot. So basically, we wanted to put this in one because I think it looks a lot better, but also its function. It keeps the trash from getting into this back into here where the cooling is, and then the car running warm. Where now if there's any kind of leaves or trash, has a more chance of going over the car and not getting stuck in here and overheating the car. As far as the ducts here and here, basically that is to keep the front brakes cool. Now I know they're carbon ceramics, but in the past they still gotten over a lot of laps. You can still get them pretty hot, at least I was. So basically, we wanted to do this to keep the rotor wear to a minimum and to keep the brakes more consistent. And basically, there's ducts going from this to the front brakes, and there's also a high-speed blowers that's in line there that I have a switch inside the car that I can hit a switch and basically turn on the blowers in case you're at a shorter track that doesn't have a lot of long straightaways to where it could get more air in there. You can turn the blowers on to keep your brakes cooler if you need to. This helps with a lot with the downforce on the front and putting weight on the front of the car to keep it turning. And just for self-notice, before I had this done, I had the wing on the back and I had this, or I did not have this. The car, you could tell the balance was off. I had downforce on the rear, but I didn't have any downforce on the front, and the car would understeer pretty bad, to where basically we had to take all the wing out of the car, the least amount, and it still wouldn't turn real good. So it makes a huge difference on the balance of keeping the front down and with the wing, and coincides with that. Since we're on the front, we'll talk about the hood. The hood is a full-blown race hood. It weighs 9.5 pounds. I had the aero latches installed on it, and so it doesn't have, you don't go off the original mechanism of releasing the hood. You just got the aero latches. This is all carbon fiber. Exactly. So it's, like I said, 9.5 pounds. Very light. It is a full race hood with vented out. The hot air can actually get out from under the engine. And also, the air doesn't get trapped and try to lift the car. It actually gets out from under, which helps create the downforce between the splitter and the hood. It helps create a lot of downforce for the front end, plus keep the engine cooler also. When I'm at the track, the car runs, like Road Atlanta, where I usually go, the car runs right around 200 degrees, maybe a little over 200, which I think is extremely well for an engine that's got more horsepower than stock. But a lot of this is all working in conjunction with that. Just a little side note, you can't really see it, but there's a tow strap in here, because obviously you have no way to hook any kind of hook here to pull, so you would damage the car severely if you got stuck somewhere and had to pull it up, even pulling it up on a trailer, you would get severe damage. So there is a Sparco tow strap that's actually into here, where you could just pull it out and it would look like a tongue sticking out here. But there's actually a tow strap in there to help anytime you have to hook the car to it, to where it pulls it and doesn't do any other damage. Working around here now to the side, basically we have the side skirts, which the original ones, I had the original ones that come on like a Z01. I had them removed, and these are full carbon fiber side skirts that also are very strong for aero. They're bolted up underneath, and of course it has the lip that goes over the fender well to keep it from air getting in the tire well, or getting the wheel well, or hitting the wheel tire. Again, all this is for downforce to help the car stick going through the corners. Again, it's extremely light because it is full carbon fiber and works real nice. I also have the big rear wing here, which again is all carbon fiber. It's been clear coated, which all my carbon pieces have been pretty much clear coated to keep it protected from the sun. It has a real nice carbon fiber side plates with the wicker bill, and also has a carbon fiber wicker bill up here at the top. Again, this is all carbon fiber, and again, this is to grab some more of the air and keep the car planted. And from what I have found out, it works really, really well. I mean, I've had the car obviously since new, like I said, and before I had any of these things installed, and then after I install them, the difference is pretty much night and day. The car does not even remotely handle the same as it did without it, and that's its corners and braking. The one part, I always thought I could go through corners faster, or at the track faster with the aero, but what I really did not realize is how much difference it makes in braking. And braking is, I can brake way later, and it's way more solid and way more stable with this aero on the car, which was kind of a pleasant surprise to me. basically that's all the aero that I have on the car at this time. In the future, I wouldn't mind having some kind of rear diffuser that's more race oriented. And actually right now we actually have some carbon fiber canards that are going to go on the front. They're actually ordered and coming that I'm going to put on the front, and that again will go with the splitter in the front. And again, that's to get maximum downforce with the car as far as in braking or going around corners. I'll go ahead and stop there because that is the part one, pretty much to say, basically talking about the aero and of course the car as far as in general and stock form, or when we bought it brand new in 2012. And I'll continue again the next part with the engine, suspension, and inside. Thank you. Y'all have a good one.